Hi.
Team news, Daniel first. Dan James and Patrick Bamford, are they fit and ready to face Norwich?
Yeah, split news. I would say Daniel James is making good progress. He's coming closer and closer. Had already parts and joined in parts of the team training. Will be a tight race, but at least there's a chance that he's perhaps available. Depends on the next 48 hours. At least it's much improved, and could be that he is an option. Yeah, not sure if he's there ready for 90 minutes, but it could be definitely an option for the traveling squad. Patrick will definitely miss both legs of this half final. He's seen also a different knee consultant, and the new diagnosis said there is a mini trauma in his patella tendon. We were not aware of this before, and this is. Was also a bit surprisingly for us that he missed the last games because the initial diagnosis was just a bruise, but it's minor patellar tendon trauma, and for that he definitely need a couple of weeks in order to recover, and he will definitely miss both legs of this half final.
So that's quite a lot of experience missing then if he doesn't make it, which I know you've had in the last few games. So how much do you need others to step up now and really grab hold of this?
Yes, it's always the same. When someone is like of the caliber of Patrick Bamford is not available, it's always important that others step up, and also a chance for others to step up. And again, we just concentrate on what we can influence. And if he's not available, then some others will get our nod. And the whole squad has my backing and my trust. And for that, we don't feel too sorry for ourselves. We try with all the players who are available to be there with the best possible outcome.
You've talked about some players struggling with a bit of confidence lately. How have you managed to instill that in them this week? What have you done?
No psychological games. There's just one answer in this case: hard work on the training pitch. You have to make sure that you are there with good training sessions, that you win the confidence back by hard work, have also success on the training pitch by bringing you in good positions. Also, sometimes important to remind them a bit like step by step. If you have perhaps a spell where not everything is great, so concentrate a bit more like on the easy things, on the basic things, instead of thinking, okay, I have to change right now the game just in one moment with a magical touch or something like this. So hard, solid work is always the answer, and this is what we've tried to do during the whole week.
I know some of the narrative is you're in Norwich, but you're sort of past that now because you've played them twice, obviously, this season. So is the narrative more about how key your man management skills are this week?
Yes, man management is always important in my role. There's no doubt about this, especially once you work with a pretty or relatively young side. But I also totally trust my players. So it's definitely not about me. It's also not about playing chess with a opponent's manager. It's just about the player. So especially in such a important game during the crunch time period, it's always the players who are decisive. The manager is there to support them, to back them, to help them, also to make sure that we are there with the best possible training week, and that's what we are trying to do, to prepare them in the best possible way, to have the right exercises, to make sure that the spirit is there in a perfect way. But this game won't be won or lost by whatever great decisions or not that great decisions of a manager. It's more like it's totally up to the players, and I have to say so. I totally trust my players. I believe in my players. They have all my backing and all my trust. And I spoke also recently about that. We are not the most experienced side. We are not perfect. But one thing is for sure, I also mentioned several times I wouldn't swap one player in this team. I totally believe in them. And I also spoke quite often about the winning mentality that I think we have, because it always felt during the whole season when there is a special occasion, we were there. When there are really spotlight games, we played 2 times against Leicester, we won 2 times. We played 2 times Ipswich, we won 2 times. Yes, bit more consistency sometimes in the days when it was a bit another day in the office would have been great. But also with 90 points, you can't speak too much about a lack of consistency. So the feeling is, especially in spotlight games, this team is spot on. Yes, and right now definitely we have two spotlight games against Norwich, and for that I'm also optimistic that we can repeat this again and can show this winning mentality again. And the players have my backing, and you won't expect that we do something strange or totally different than what we've done before. It's more like we will be ourselves, and in this way we want to be successful.
So is it about their toughness rather than the tactics?
No, tactics are also important. It's not like we go like with our flag and are over motivated and go into this game. No, tactics are important, and what we want to do against the ball, what we want to do with the ball, all important. Of course, we work on this, but it's nothing that we right now press a magic button and we do something different and play like a completely different side or change our whole approach. Whatever. Try to park the bus and try to put the balls out of the stadium. That's not Leeds United. That's not my team. We will try to be ourselves in order to play dominant as much as possible, also to control the game when it's necessary against the ball. So to be also active against the ball. We try to sharpen our strength a bit up in the last days, and this is how we will approach both games, and then hopefully we have a good outcome.
Finally, how much do you feel you have the measure of Norwich having beaten them twice this season?
Doesn't count anymore. So the season before doesn't count anymore, or the perhaps negative or the good things, they don't matter anymore. It's a new competition. So yes, we can moan a bit about it. The run in could have been a bit better, or the injuries or whatever. It doesn't matter anymore. So the same also like 90 points and unbeaten record and most clean sheets or 2 wins against Norwich doesn't matter anymore. Right now, new competition starts, and we have to be in there in this competition. We had this season 46 games to earn the place in the playoffs, to earn the place also in position 3. So it's good because you have the second leg at home. That's good. But right now, a new competition starts, and we just have to concentrate on the year now and don't look back too much. Thank you.
Probably fair to say, Daniel, that faith from fans is quite hard-earned in football, but seems to be quite easily lost at times. Have you felt that wavering at all in recent weeks? And is it a case that a win on Sunday would simply restore that?
No, so in general, I think your quote is definitely right. Not just in football, but always in life. So you need to invest a lot in order to earn trust, but you can give it away straight away. I think once you're disappointed after a loss or after disappointing result, anyhow, it has nothing to do with losing the faith. Just because it just shows how much our supporters and we all care. We all were disappointed, and again, so after a loss, it's not like I want to hug all my players and they don't want to hug me. So it's more like everyone is angry and annoyed and in a bad mood. This is what you have to show, and you have to be if you care about the situation. It's the same with our supporters. So it's also like they care about this club, they care about our success, and they want us to be as successful as possible. But to win or to lose the face, this obviously to win it lasts a bit longer, but I don't have the feeling at all that they have lost the face anyhow. Otherwise, we wouldn't be there with a lap of honor, and all our believers were there and cheering us up and showed us with this lap of honor after the final home game that they are right behind us and trust us and are there. So our feeling is totally that they are behind us, that we are one unity. Yes, obviously nowadays, anyhow, there's also lots of social media. So, to be honest, so you don't have to overinterpret this, because yes, with all respect, but it's more like we just have more than 5,000 people who are there with comments on social media. It's more like 500,000 or 5 million are backing Leeds, and the tendency is always a bit like, yes, when you're disappointed, you are a bit more tempted to write perhaps a comment instead of, you're over the moon. If you're over the moon, you're open with your missus at home a bottle of champagne and celebrate a bit. You don't have the time for social media posts. So for that, I wouldn't overinterpret this. So my feeling is that our supporters are behind us. Yes, and once they're disappointed, also a bit angry. And also, when we concede a goal, I'm also angry and shout a little bit. it also doesn't look then okay. I'm over the moon with what we're doing. I wouldn't overinterpret this. So it's more like when it comes down to the wire and it comes down to the important things. And I also got this feeling that this club is then always united like no other club else. So when it's really important, and for example on this lap of honor, I think this was quite important, and you could feel how much our supporters trust us and believe in us, and all together. Yes, want to make sure that they have also something to cheer about, hopefully pretty soon.
You're not going to go away from your principles at this stage of the season. I'm not sure any manager would, but how do you make sure that you're not predictable, particularly when you've got the ball against Norwich?
We were never predictable. Also during the season, we have always different option. Also played different base formations, but the principles are more or less always the same. So it's not like we are always playing in a special formation, or we always approach a game in a special way in terms of our pressing. Also what we want to do with the ball. We always try to work on flexibility and have also a plan B and C and D. But the principles will always be the same. So we have different approaches to bring these principles on the pitch. But one of our key approach will always be that we want to have the ball and want to be dominant. So you will never see, at least not under my regime, a Leeds United side who is scared and parks the bus and just defends with 11 lads. Will never happen. At least not since till as long as I'm in charge. But yes, we work also on that we are flexible, and this is also what we've done in the last 7 days. So to work a bit on our principles, to sharpen a bit our work against the ball, to sharpen also a bit our positioning, because I got the feeling so in the last games we lost a bit the sharpness and the precision in the details, and to concentrate on the details was important during this week, and hopefully we can bring this also on the pitch when it counts right now on Sunday, and then also on Thursday.
Hi Daniel, we saw a picture this week of the team having a team meal together. Have you seen efforts from them to break themselves out of this cycle they've been in, given what's at stake?
I love this, and always encourage this. So I'm always open once they want to do something for the team bonding. So I spoke about this before. So I've got the feeling so that we have a really, really great spirit. It really feels like nowadays it's sometimes difficult. And earlier years you spoke about, okay, on the pitch you have to be 11 friends. So these times are a bit over at times, but this group is united and so tight together. Really, for me, it's a bit second to none. I think this is outstanding, and also why this young team has already then played such a season with 90 points. Yeah, obviously we're not the most experienced side. We're not the finished end product. That's right. But the spirit was always good, and once the players also want to sharpen this even a bit during this week, I like this a lot, and got the feeling so in terms of spirit and togetherness and unity. Yes, you can be united when the sun is shining. When you're there with a club record of unbeaten games, 13 games. Sadly, we lost our last 2 games, and in this moment's real character and real personality and real unity is shown. And they are still so together in this moments. This is more like than the basic ingredient. Yes, to be also successful and to be allowed to celebrate perhaps on the end of the season. Sadly, not a guarantee that you will celebrate, but without this you won't. You won't celebrate, won't be able to celebrate. This is at least what I can guarantee. But we have the spirit, and hopefully the spirit carries also us in the upcoming days and hopefully weeks.
How do you feel about your midfield at the moment? You've moved a few players in and out recently with Glenn and Archie and Ilya, and obviously Ethan is always a temptation, I assume. How do you feel about it at the moment? Is it something you're confident with and happy with what those combinations are bringing you?
Yes, overall I believe in my players. I think Glenn, Archie, Ethan, Ilya, they've all played many games during the season. Obviously, it's also quite normal that you can't play there 46 games, and you have also sometimes a spell when you're not always there with an 8 out of 10 rating. Sometimes you're also a bit tired, and then you also have to react and mix it up. Sometimes it's what we've done. But overall, I'm pretty pleased with my midfield option. I think this was also the key why we played such a consistent season with 90 points, with being rock solid, with many clean sheets, the most clean sheets in the whole league. Yes, there are always one or two areas of improvement. Yes, sometimes we can dictate the rhythm even a bit better. Sometimes to calm the game down when it's necessary, or to speed the game up when it's important. Yeah, but we have also quite often young players in this role. Ethan, probably one of the most experienced guys, but still young of age. Archie, we don't have to speak about it. Ilya, first season of in English football, so. There are still areas where we can improve and also, yes, to chip in sometimes with goals out of midfield. Also one area where we want and definitely need to improve. This is also one area, but overall I have to say I'm pretty happy with our options, and I'm also quite confident that we find a good mix also for the upcoming games.
Hi Daniel. Some managers will try and treat the players just like any other game. Given what you've said about the way the team responds to spotlight games, is your emphasis the other way too?
No, because that it's an important game and spotlight game. You can't hide it there. The players are not stupid. They realize right now it's half final in the playoffs. Yeah, it's more like you can earn the right to play in Wembley. It's more like a do or die competition right now in order to make sure that you are successful in this half final over 2 legs. So they know it's a spotlight game. So and we don't hide behind the fact. But on the other hand, to be there and don't change too much in the approach or on the preparation or how to prepare, so we won't overdo anything. So it was important also because we had 1 or 2 days more during this week to prepare, also to concentrate perhaps even a bit more on sharpen up in a few details. Yeah, when you play whatever Tuesday, Friday, or Monday, Thursday, sometimes it's not that possible also to work on several topics. So this week was good and beneficial on the training pitch. So we had the time to work a bit more on it, but also the way we approach this game or we prepare them, we won't overdo any things or do anything major different in terms of preparation or traveling or whatever. We still keep the same, but we also don't want to hide the fact that it's a special game where it really counts. And yes, we have to be on it and to play really focused and concentrated, but also confident. This is the key.
And obviously the basic job is exactly the same as it was last week in terms of just winning the game. But is there a bit of a mental reset, you think, when you just go psychologically from being involved in the league to this knockout?
Yes, especially with the last games, because we knew in the last games and more or less over 46 game days, we were always in the chasing role. So, and if you're in the chasing role, nothing is in your own hands. So it's also like the last game day, we knew home game for Ipswich against the already relegated side. It's not that likely that even a win would bring us over the line. Right now, it's a new competition. It's also like we have everything in our own hands. And obviously, when you are there with a half final with 2 legs, also the approach is slightly different because after the first game, it's not like you win 1 or 3 points. It's just halftime. So it's not like you win or lose already in the first game. More like the right to play at Wembley. You have to win or to lose it over 2 legs, and for that, obviously, then the approach is also that you adapt a bit to it. That's quite normal also to speak about, that we are aware of this. So you can't compare this to a normal league game, but in the way we approach a game and we want to play, this is then quite similar also to a normal game, because wherever we go, we always play in order to be there with the best possible result and hopefully also with a win. And this won't change also for the next 2 games.
Daniel, since you played on Saturday, there was some urge that Will Ferrell, the actor, might invest in the club. Does that show the kind of potential that this club has, the profile of it, that might happen?
We need each and every man. It's always good. It's always good when the investors or supports and interests in the club, and obviously he's a great actor. We are all happy that he is on board, and it's also always good. But I don't think it will help us a lot in Norwich to bring the ball into this rectangle. So for that, it's nice to have this, and it says a lot about the caliber of this club. And we have many well-known and also popular supporters, and we are grateful for that and thankful, because, like I mentioned, we need each and every man. But it's also up to the players in order to bring the success. So sadly, we can't act the ball over the line. So we have to make sure that we shoot it over the line, and this is what we try to do on the weekend.
Can I ask, from Norwich, the manager and also a couple of players, they mentioned publicly, they kind of said the pressure is on Leeds in this game a bit because you were going for automatic promotion. Is the pressure something your players have to relish if it's there, to embrace the pressure?
First of all, I'm not a believer of psychological games. The pressure is here or there. I think it's always the same. Each and every team wants to win the points. If you win the points, then you're happy. If you don't win any point and you lose the game, you are very disappointed and you're not happy. So pressure is always on both teams, and this is the same. So both teams have played in order to earn this right for having a chance for promotion, and both clubs, both sides wants to do this. I don't think that there's anyone in Norwich dressing room and in the club, I know this club a little bit, who is not willing to promote to the Premier League and says, no, we rather stay in the Championship. So for that, I think both teams are highly motivated, and it's more like something to discuss for the pundits and perhaps everyone around where the pressure is a bit more on or not. So we are definitely aware that, yes, we want to be successful in these 2 games. We want to earn the right to play in Wembley, and this is all we are concentrated on.
Right, we're going to move on to the embargo section if we're okay to turn cameras off.